Hi guys, Ryan from theprivatebanker.com. I'm just going to do a quick recap for crude oil energy and this and PLC equity for America. Just going to touch base on what we're seeing at the moment and some expectations. So with crude, just a sort of top-down approach. Start with the yearly bars. So this is the current situation on the yearly. Sorry, this is wrong place. Sorry about this. So there was some support there at $42 a barrel I was looking at, but anyway, so we've seen a buying tail on the year, and we've seen buyers responsive back into last year's range. So if this buying tail holds and we can hold this current breakout here, very similar to the dislocation in 2008. So in 2008 we had that. I think this is a little bit wrong for some reason. Excuse me for having a bit of data issues at the minute. Just upgraded to the new Sierra charts version. Anyway, so this could be a potential upside breakout here. It was similar to the data here, but obviously there's something missing here. But we'll have to see. Obviously, if we see, obviously it's an auction process. So at the moment we have this year's balance, and we popped above this year's balance, and we're either going to see a complete directional breakout here and a possible buy side imbalance form this year and possibly the next few years. We'll have to see what this happens, or we could see a seller active this month, and we can see this hold as a spike excess high, and we could return back to equilibrium. And obviously the new motive there would be to test the other side of the bell curve to see if we have a if we dry out buyers and we see price expiration to the downside, or if we're going to see further balance compression year at play. So obviously at the moment, like I said, we're seeing a potential breakout here. We've seen a very clean dislocation higher, and we're back into last year's range. So obviously with last year's range, we've got some very key levels to look at. The 67 area, and then obviously the next area was back to the sort of scene with the crime of this sort of balance that was forming, was this $80 a barrel. And so they're going to be the two major levels to watch if we do hold an inside year here and we do continue to find buyers like we're seeing. If we look at the yearly developing value, you can see that the market is finding offer, so we're finding buyers well outside of this year's balance, and we're seeing volume starting to come in. So to me at the moment, this is a confirming breakout. So just want to see how we close this month out, whether we close this month out of a complete dislocation from this lower balance here, and if we do, then obviously the look is to hold this excess and continue to find a buy side. So this is where I'm missing the data. That's interesting. Okay, so my data's gone completely crazy. I'll have to get this sorted, but completely crazy. This is very wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's focus on the current situation. So again, we're going to see a complete buy side dislocation, and then see the one time framing or whatever. We just see buyers entering the market. But this level here that I've marked out was a very key level. For some reason, all the data screwed up for the back adjustment for the continuous contract. But this pullback here, this 65 22 is very important, because the market broke out in this engulfing bar, and then we pulled back to this level, which happened to be this level. So we're just testing that now. So I'm sorry this is a bit screwed up. I'll have to fix this and do a better video, but that's what we're currently looking at the moment. And if we look at the weekly, you can again see that we're seeing just a complete buy side breakout here. I've seen there's lots of people still saying, oh, we're not going to sustain higher prices in crude oil and all of this crap around the fundamentals. But if we look at this technically, we have a balance and we're broken out of balance. What happens normally when we see a breakout of balance, like we've seen this is a bit of a small so we had this upper balance, and we see this sort of balance coming in, and we broke out. So obviously this is a completely different scenario, because we've just seen a major crash and price expiration. But this is very important market generated information. We came up and we've seen a breakout higher, and we're holding the higher. So I mean, obviously there's at the moment we're finding new inflow of buy side activity. If there wasn't, what the market would have done is we would have poked higher, we would have ran the stops above these 3 highs, and we would have returned to the year's high, we would have peaked above it, and we would have seen a seller active there, and we would have not started to put volume in here. We would have seen rejection, we would have fallen back into balance, and then we would have targeted the other side of the bracket. But there's a clear change underway. We've broken out, we closed higher, and we're holding higher for the moment. So very clear market generated information coming into the market at the moment. And again, this has been supported by the volume that's coming in here. I mean, if these weren't fair prices that buyers were willing to conduct business at, then we wouldn't see the volume building up here. We're seeing volume building up here because at the moment buyers are taking out all of the sell side inventory. Any sellers that are coming into the market and having resting seller limit orders or trying to sell the market down, they're getting met by buyers here. And if the buyers weren't here, then we would have dried up and we would have fallen back into this lower distribution bell curve. But the fact is, we've auctioned higher, we've broken out, and at the moment we are finding buyers. Whether that remains the case is all part of the auction. But I mean, on this month's developing value, we're seeing a buy side breakout, we're seeing an imbalance to the buy side, almost seeing a dislocation away, and you can see these multiple distributions. You can see the lower distribution, you can see the upper distribution, and you can see the excess that's holding that. So very key information here, and obviously depends on how we close this month out, whether we close this month out with an excess selling tail and then we fall back in, or whether we close very strong with an engulfing strong buy side bar, and then obviously that's the next piece of the puzzle. So heading into the end of the month is very important to watch what we do here for on crude oil. At the moment, as you can see on the week, I mean, we came down. This is just the volume rollover I've used for this time, due to the large amounts of volume that are coming into the last contract. And obviously, again, I'm speculating that because there's lots of buyers buying that contract up so they could take delivery and store the oil offshore. So then obviously when prices go back to $100 a barrel, etc., they've got a still deal here. So that's what I'm speculating with the real increase in volume and the lagging rollover we saw last week. So again, we've rolled over onto the June contract, and we come back and just tested the high today. Very quick V-shaped recovery, and you can see we're clearly building higher volume on the week higher. So obviously these at the moment, these are fair prices for business to be transacted at. I mean, if there wasn't fair prices, then we would have built lower volume, and this is where buyers have met sellers and sellers have met buyers, and we're conducting business for this week. Clear disconnect in this week's developing value. So for the moment, until we see lower volume built and we see the market trading below the current distribution bell curve, the expectation is to see this dislocation. We're expecting volume to build higher, and we're expecting an imbalance to the buy side still. So, and that is running with the complete macro to micro theme that we're checking out, that we're looking at the moment. If we look at the daily, I mean, been one time framing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th day of one time framing, and a bit of a compression bar, and starting to see some balance coming here. But the point being is we're finding buyers for the time being. So again, it's an auction, so just needs to be continually monitored here. Just quickly taking a quick look at the S&P 500. Very active behaviour here. I mean, we've got this double top now, and we've got this inside engulfing bar. We've seen a month of compression. This is the second month of compression. So there's obviously some big energy building here. There's going to be a ton of sell stops above, obviously some sell stops below, sort of back above below the 2000. But obviously with the way that the volume is building higher, the way that we're seeing this market trade at the moment, we're expecting a buy side breakout possibly into the end of this month, and possibly even, sorry, this is not updated for something. I've got real problems on my data. Yeah. Sorry about this. But, again, so we've seen one time framing on the weekly. I've got this very poor highs. I mean, the market is just searching for a new high at the moment. And again, if we look at the volume on building on the year, I mean, you can see that there are clear sort of two ranges we've been doing business. When you see that the open of the beginning of the year, we see that crazy volatility coming in, as sort of see some portfolio readjustments, some hedge funds getting in, and just again some market making involved. And then we finally see that breakout, the new high. And since then we've just auctioned low, and there's these two clear volume areas we're doing business at. But more importantly, we're starting to build volume higher here, and we're definitely to me looks like we're most likely going to see a new high soon. I mean, we're still looking very balanced on the month, and possibly we could see further balance this month, and we see the break next month potentially. Not trying to predict, just obviously reading what's coming in here, and again, we're just finding fair business and building higher volume at the moment. If we do look at the weekly, I mean, last week, I mean, even though we did see some downside, all the volume got put in higher. We kept seeing the market auction higher. We see the buyers coming in, and then for some reason we've just seen these liquidation spikes and just stop runs in the market. And again, just bounces back up. So I mean, we're just back up to where the volume's being transacted and fair prices are. So it just seems at the moment you're seeing all these lagging buyers coming into the market. They're trying to position themselves long, and then market makers and the high frequency trading algorithms are just coming in and just dumping everyone out and then spiking price back up after they've run them out of the market. Obviously this is just pure speculation, and just if you just look at the way prices move here, it's just very, very fast down, accumulation, very, very fast up, accumulation, fast up. Again, we've seen that rapid spike down here, so anybody who is accumulating long inventory in these areas will just get spiked out. But you can see we're just building higher volume, and again we're starting to build some higher volume above and into the 21,000, sorry, so 2,100. Getting tongue tied here. So yeah, clean disconnect from last year. Again, we're seeing balance, but obviously pathway resistance to the buy side, trends to the buy side. We're starting to see volume build higher. So I mean, very, very likely that this high is gonna hold, and we're gonna see a large scale correction. We'll just have to see. I mean, obviously if the market does start to tumble and we do start to see the market come back into balance on the year, and again rotations back down to this 2040, then there's going to be a ton of sell stops down here, there's going to be a ton of sell stops on the year, and it could just cause an avalanche. Just another scenario to play, but obviously as I said, at the moment it makes more sense to see higher prices from the current auctions that we're watching unfold here. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for crude and the S&P, and we'll do some updates next week and the beginning of next month for the macro timeframes. Any questions, as usual, please email me or just ask on the forum. Until then, catch you later. Good luck and goodbye.